guys, how's it going? It's our week 5 on DraftKings, and we're going to talk about 5 stacks that I like a lot this weekend. These are 5 stacks that grade out very well from both a value and ceiling perspective. These are the players that I want to go after, as well as attaching these quarterbacks to 2 of their pass catchers. You can bring it back with somebody on the other side and try to capture all of the goodness in any particular game. We try to focus on players that are either a profit on salary, sometimes they are players that, and I do have a puke stack for you that you're going to hate at the end. We will make sure that we do a pick 'em on Underdog as well, so stay tuned for that, and let's go.
He's a legend.
The Smiz Gang Listener League is up once again for week 5. It is tracking to fill again. It's going to fill, guys. There are more people allowed in it this week. It's been bumped from 4,500 to 5,500. It's probably going to fill on Saturday. So make sure that you get in this early so that you don't get locked out. $10 entry fee, 3 max. You can only put 3 lineups in it, but the best tournament on DraftKings because it has absolutely no rake. All $55,000 of the entry fees are going to get paid out to you guys. No service fee from DraftKings. Does not get better than that. 10% of the prize pool goes to first, 10% of first place goes to 10th, so you're not going to feel like dog poop if you come in like 7th. You get paid a good amount, and I will shout out everybody that finishes in the top 10 on the recap video over on the Fantasy Football channel right there, Al Smizzle Fantasy Football, every single Monday. So go to smizzle.tv/links. There will be a link down below in the description and in the pinned comment if you wanted to click that and literally everything else that I do. So smizzle.tv/links, very easy to find, and get in the listener league today. Kirk Cousins is on the cover. We're going to use him as our primary guy. I know he's coming off of 3-4 games where he hasn't scored 20 DraftKings points, but this is when you want to buy. I am a big proponent of trying to get on the train when everybody else got off the train. I have friends who hate the train. It's fine if you hate the train. I want to be on the train before it leaves the station. By the time you've waited and seen, the opportunity is already gone. We know that Kirk Cousins has at least one guy who's going to project extremely well every single week. 13 targets in week 4, 12 targets in week 2, 11 targets in week 1 against Detroit. Somehow he only got 6 targets against Detroit, who's allowing like 1 million points every single week. But a very good offense, 28, 23 points for Minnesota. They've scored in very weird ways. You get to tie your stack to, if I'm going to build Kirk Cousins lineups, for Kirk Cousins to have a 30-point DraftKings day, which is what we want to isolate for when we're stacking tournaments, right? Like, you're not saying, well, what if he has 18 points? If he has 18 points, you're not winning a tournament anyway, so it doesn't matter. So on the instance that he has 30 DraftKings points, Justin Jefferson is going to have one of his monster days, but it's also going to drag along somebody else on that team like an Adam Thielen, who has 17 targets the last 2 weeks and 7 targets the week before that. We need to see touchdowns out of these stacks for them to be extremely viable. Irv Smith Jr., still 3,200, still a lot of usage for a tight end, and especially in a down week for tight ends when neither Kelsey or Andrews are on the slate and the value plays are falling between like 4,500 and 3,400. It's a way to escape from all of those percentages in tournaments. Taking a look at their NFL savant targets, obviously Jefferson with 29.5%, Thielen second, Irv Smith, KJ Osborne is kind of the odd man out. So you know that it's going to go to these 3-4, so double stacking is not all that difficult if you wanted to attack through a Minnesota Vikings double. Teddy Bridgewater, not the puke stack, but on the stacking list. Now look, it's going to be a downgrade going from Tua to Teddy B, right? Teddy 2 gloves, inefficient downfield. I know that people don't want to stack him, but guys, it's the Jets, all right? And I know that the Jets have really good cornerbacks. Sauce is a good cornerback. There are other cornerbacks like top 5 in the league in terms of PFF grades, right? Like game grades and stuff like that. But like looking at where this stack can go, it goes to 2 guys. Now, I know Jalen Waddle popped on the injury list in week 3. We're going to have to monitor this as the week goes on. If Jalen Waddle's out, I like this double stack a lot less. I would probably aim towards a Tyreek Hill secondary stack if Jalen Waddle's out. But if he's in, there's just 2 guys that are getting targets. So if he has a 3-touchdown game, it's going to go through just those 2. Okay, well, there's a spoiler alert. Tom Brady's the next guy. So Teddy Bridgewater, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, very easy to build this double, and it's not that hard to find bring back guys on the Jets, whether it's going to be Wilson, whether it's going to be Corey Davis, Moore, if you wanted to go with the running back, Breece Hall. easy paths to this, and Bridgewater offering you a lot of salary relief at 5,400. Hey guys, guess what? Tom Brady's the next guy on the list. Shocker, I know. Divorce narrative. He's got crystals on him. He's, he thinks his wife is a witch who can actualize whatever. Maybe she's cast a spell on him the first few weeks. Or maybe, more realistically, he just didn't have anybody to catch the ball because Godwin was out, and then Evans got suspended in this game, or got kicked out of this game in week 2 against New Orleans because of the fight with Marshawn Lattimore, and then he was out for week 3. If Tom Brady loses all of his pass catchers, he's not going to be as good. That's just the way that it goes, guys. He is dependent on his pass catchers for him to have these ceiling games. 29.4 last week, and for some reason, maybe it's because salaries came out before the Sunday night game was over. Atlanta has not been good defensively. They've allowed the 4th most opponents' trips to the red zone. Mike Evans in 2 games against them last year had a boatload of targets, 2 touchdowns, like 179 yards in those 2 games. The game against Kansas City, 10 targets, 8 catches, 2 touchdowns in that game. The most touchdowns for any wide receiver over the last 3 seasons in the league is Mike Evans, and he's seeing his highest target percentage. We'll get to that in just a second. From Tom Brady in the times that he has played with him. Chris Godwin in his return after missing 2.5 games with that hamstring injury, coming back from ACL, is going to be running out of the slot. Saw 10 targets last week. He's massively underpriced. We're not going to see Chris Godwin at 5,900 ever again. Monitor Julio Jones, monitor Gage. I think that Game Log Watch is going to see the 8 targets that Brate got last week. They were trailing in that entire situation. Brate is not really a target for me. He might stumble into the end zone and be like a cheapish value, but not really where I want to go for tournament upside. The pass catching running backs also are a thing. I'm probably not going to stack Leonard Fournette along with him, but like you can get there with these 2, and then there's ways to bring it back if you wanted to on the other side. But looking at their target market share, this is going to be all jacked up because of the games missed and everything else. Evans is going to be the lead guy. He's going to be around 22-23%. You're going to see Godwin in the same range, 20 to 22% of the targets. Then is going to come Gage. Brate is dealing with an injury right now, and then it's going to be Fournette. Whether it's Gage or Fournette, we don't know. I don't think we're going to see 60% of the snaps from Fournette again this week or moving forward. I also don't think we're going to see 95+%. He's going to fall in that 75 to 85 range with Rachaad White spelling him from time to time. We're doing a fundraiser this entire season for No Kid Hungry. We're trying to raise $50,000 from the community. Every $10,000 that our community raises here in the Smith Gang, I will match $10,000 of my own money. We've already hit the first match. We are almost at the second match, which will come at $30,000, like right down here on the little bar down here. When that hits 30,000, I owe another 10. That would bring us to 40,000. I know that we can get there because every single dollar helps. No Kid Hungry is trying to provide school breakfasts and lunches and at-home care for food insecure kids across the country. So every single dollar helps. You can donate $1, $5, $10, or $100. Whatever you can afford to give to No Kid Hungry is greatly appreciated and allows you to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. And every single donation is 100% tax deductible. Tiltify will handle all of that paperwork for you. Trevor Lawrence is the next stack that we have to talk about. Now, I'm going to X out most games against Philadelphia. I'm especially going to X out games against Philadelphia that were played in a monsoon with 25-mile-per-hour winds. I don't like that. I don't like 25-mile-per-hour winds. But if you're still watching, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell. I got 8 videos coming out here on the main channel every single week during NFL. Don't want you to miss any of them. So be sure to click that like button. Leave me a comment down below with the stacks that you like for this week. Trevor Lawrence is really, really doing well. Major progression for him in his second season. An interesting stat this week against Houston. Houston is a bottom 5 team when it comes to time of possession, and Jacksonville is a top 10 team when it comes to time of possession. I love it when the puzzle pieces just fit together. They should have the ball a lot. They also should not have an issue moving the football against Houston, either on the ground or through the air. Everybody is healthy for him once again. So if we're going to go with Trevor Lawrence, there's a lot of routes that you can go to differentiate. Zay Jones looks like he is going to go limited participant on Wednesday. Don't pay too much mind to Wednesday practice. Thursday, Friday, especially, are the most important ones. I'm expecting Zay Jones to play this week. He is a value this week. Christian Kirk has been outstanding, getting 6 or more targets in every game, 9 or more in 3 of the 4. including that monsoon game against Philadelphia. It now gets a softer defense to go and attack. If you wanted to get really contrarian, Marvin Jones Jr. is a better talent than the numbers he has put up for this team. In the case that Zay Jones is out, I would prefer Marvin Jones Jr. Obviously, last week, we saw Jamal Agnew get loose for, 2 touchdowns. I'm not expecting that on every week situation, but at least you know that in the absence of Zay Jones, we kind of know who's going to be there in that spot. And then Evan Ingram running a route 5th most in the league at the tight end spot, like 78% of dropbacks. Evan Ingram running a route, and he falls outside. He's going to be like under 5% this week. I really believe in tournaments. So it makes for a good contrarian addition to that, Trevor Lawrence double stack if you wanted to go that route. And here's their numbers with Christian Kirk being 26%, Zay Jones at 18%. Even though he missed last game, he will be above 20% in games that he plays. Marvin Jones at about 17 and Evan Ingram. So a very tight group of players that get the targets there. Why don't we build something on Underdog here around this stack? If we're going to stack and we need everything to go right, I'm going to take over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Let me get higher rushing and receiving yards for James Robinson against this bad defense. Give me higher, and I got to pick somebody from the other side, right? Is there anybody on the other side? Yes, there's somebody on the other side. What's an easy over that we can get to here? No. I'm going to go over. Oh, it's all on one team. I can't do that. I got to get rid of one of these. Let's get rid of him, and let's go with higher than that. We'll do this one for $25 to win $500. You can use promo code ALSMIZZLE, that's ALSMIZZLE, to get up to $100 deposit bonus on your first deposit to the site. We'll submit that. We'll move on with our day to the next player. And the Puke stack of the week is Marcus Mariota. I know, guys, I know. It's not about Marcus Mariota. First of all, I know that he has not thrown the ball the last 2 weeks, because they were able to run it. But I don't think they're going to be able to run it for 2 reasons. One, they're playing Tampa Bay, who is a very, 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 very good run defense in spite of what you saw on Sunday night. The 3 games prior, they had not allowed over 100 yards rushing. Again, see, chat is rioting. See, they're mad. How mad? Why are you mad? It's only a game. Why you have to be mad? It's only a game, chat. See, they're very mad. It's Marcus Mariota this week. He's not going to attempt 20 passes. They are going to give up points. They have not played good quarterbacks. Look at how many points they've given up. 26 points, 27 points, 27 points, 23 points. They played one good quarterback. They have played against Jameis Winston week 1 in New Orleans. Stafford, who is struggling because his offensive line is terrible so far. The Geno Smith-led Seahawks, the Fighting Genos, and the Brisket. And they've given up over 23 points, and 23 points or more in every single game. Now they get Tom Brady with a fully functioning battle station and a team that you're not going to be able to run the ball against. So yeah, I'm going with Marcus Mariota as my Puke stack this week. I'm going to pair him with Drake London, because Drake London has gotten over 30% of the target market share. They just haven't thrown it a lot. He's going to have to throw it 35 times this week. And if those numbers hold and Drake London gets that 30% of that market share, you're looking at 9+ potential targets this week. And second on the team in targets at 25+% of the market share is Kyle Pitts, guys. Nobody wants to play Kyle Pitts. Not one person. Makes for a very easy double stack. It's not that hard to get to. You could even bring it back with Mike Evans or Leonard Fournette or Chris Godwin and completely differentiate your lineups. So I'm going to get going so you guys can clean up the puke on your desk. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.